So here's a harsh truth for you guys. Any dude out there dating mid to ugly chicks has some gaping hole in his life. There's some problem going on. The same thing for a guy that maybe has his finances together, but he's a big, fat, overweight piece of shit. You can just look at him and say, hey, I see the Lamborghini, I see the financial success, but you're super overweight. Or maybe he has like a skinny fat physique, right? He's got like these skinny arms, these skinny legs, and a big old gut. You can just take one look at the guy and say, listen, maybe you have a lot of other things going for you. Maybe in other areas of life, you're crushing it. Maybe you're just a monster in other areas, but you're lacking in the physical realm. The same thing you can tell by a guy. You look at the chicks that he's dating, you look at his girlfriend, you look at his wife, and you can tell instantly, okay, he may have it figured out in the gym, he may have it figured out financially, but for one reason or another, if he's dating a mid chick, it's not because, oh, she's hot to him and in his taste, she's beautiful, but maybe to you she isn't because da-da-da-da. No. Hey guys, back to the video in just a few seconds, but first, I had to share these amazing results that I've been having on dating apps using 100% fake AI-generated photos. Every single girl that you're seeing on screen right now, I matched with on Bumble using, yes, fake AI photos, and here are the photos on the screen right now that I used. And before you rush to the comments and want to say something dumb like, oh, I could kind of tell that they were fake, I know that you can't tell that they're fake because I'm lying to you. I'm showing you a mixture of both real photos and AI photos, and I bet you can't tell the difference of which is which. And I've done well on the dating apps even before with real photos, but ever since I put AI photos on there into the mix, the results have been absolutely insane, as you were seeing. And not only can I now be super lazy, I don't have to do photo shoots anymore in real life, but I can now get access to backdrops I never could before, such as being on a private jet or some insane looking baller Airbnb. And no, I know what you're thinking. Both the dating app platforms and Instagram cannot tell that these are AI and they will not get you banned. So if you want some of these for yourself, just check out the link in the video description. It's also in the first pinned comment. It's the same link, and we will get back to the regular video now. He's in cope. Listen, there is some accounting for taste, right? Some guys like girls with a very slender, like yoga style physique, like, maybe B cup breasts, a small, like slightly curvaceous, but not a big butt. Some guys like, big, thick Latinas. Some guys like the Norwegian, Scandinavian model. There is accounting for taste, right? I never judge a guy that's with, for example, like an Asian chicks. Asian chicks are not like my number one thing, but like, we all know what like a hot Asian chick looks like, even if you're not into Asians. We all know what a hot Latina looks like, even if you're not into Latinas. Okay, obviously, I just want to address that. So if this is you, it's because something is like, and we're going to go through some of this stuff, but I want to go on a quick tangent for, there's certainly don't listen to these guys if they start talking about women or giving advice, stuff like that. I mean like normal guys, but there was this guy, Mr. Lucario, another dating coach, where I just basically took his soul. I just destroyed this guy in a live debate. So he claims to be a dating coach, where he is a dating coach. He is a dating coach. He claims to be this expert on women. And the editing will put on the screen right now some of the girls that he's dated. And you can just take one look at it. You just like, boom, you can just take one look at his girlfriend. The old looking like white chick that kind of looks like a granny and like really, really mid. Is his girlfriend. And by the way, he's done hit pieces, he's done exposés on me and stuff like that, talked a lot of shit, so I'm talking shit on him, and I gave him a chance to defend himself live on a debate. So this is not like a hit piece at Lucario where, he started this, he didn't really like critique me. Anyway, don't want to get off on a tangent, but certainly for any dating coach, if you look at a dating coach and he's dating a mid chick, that's it. You don't listen to this guy. It's like, would you pay a personal trainer that's overweight? And then the trainer says, well, listen, sure, I can only bench press 110 pounds and I'm, really, really skinny, but also got a big fat gut. But to me, I like this physique. I think this looks better than the on stage Arnold Schwarzenegger, but no, you wouldn't listen to that guy, right? So it's a failure. It is a cope. And if you're one of these guys, like some of you guys, other areas of your life may be semi-handled, they may be all handled, or you may have every area of your life in shambles. You may have your financial life, your social life, your dating life, your physical life, all in shambles. Who knows? But a lot of you guys don't. A lot of you guys are doing pretty well in other areas, but you haven't solved this problem for one reason or another. And if I look back at like all the problems I solved, like, the getting the money problem, the being healthy problem, even like personal problems that may be difficult for me, but not other people, like, sleeping. Insomnia is kind of like something that over the years, I have times where I'm sleeping pretty well, other times where I'm, not sleeping so good. But getting a girl that's not only, beautiful, but not a complete hoe, not boring, say under the age of 24 to 25 years old max. What else do I like? Feminine, no tattoos, obviously not a single mom, not irritating. I think I mentioned intelligent, submissive nature. For me personally, it's going to have to be a girl that understands that I'm going to smash other girls on the side and, she's not going to smash other guys. That's super difficult to find. And this is why I've said in other videos that if you don't make solving this problem, which is the problem is dating ugly chicks. Let's define the problem. That's what I said at the start of the video. Any guy that's dating mid to ugly chicks, there's some issue. It could be his social skills. It could be his overall strategy. He doesn't know how to do more modern dating methods. He has no idea how to do online dating or meeting women on Instagram. He opens up Hinge and it puts him in a cohort with only ugly girls because maybe he's not a physical stunning Chad. So he opens up Hinge. He's not a top level guy in the looks department. It only shows him mid chicks. And he's like, well, I guess I'm mid and I have to match with what the algorithm shows me. He has no idea how to get out of that cohort, how the dating app algorithms work. He has no idea how to put together a high quality Instagram. He has no idea how to forget using dating apps entirely and just use Instagram. That could be it. Or maybe he's kind of a putz in terms of his personality. He has, no confidence, no social skills. Maybe he can date some of these girls, get them on dates, meet them at bars and clubs, but when they find out that he's flat broke, he can't retain them. Whether it's financial, whether it's social skills, whether it's something to do with your strategy or your looks, whatever it is, there is some problem here. And definitely, be honest about this with yourself, and definitely don't take advice from anybody who clearly hasn't gotten this area of their life handled. So think about it like an entrepreneur, like a problem solving standpoint, right? I watched this video with Alex Hormozy, how he's trying to make cold calling work for his outbound agency. And first, they didn't know how to build a list of phone numbers of people to call. Then they found out a list of gym owners. That was the business. He had a consulting company for gyms. Then they found this data of gym owners, but then they found out the data was shit. So he had to, number one, get the data, but the data was shit. Then figure out how to get better data. Okay, enrich the data and make sure the phone numbers were accurate. Then he was calling these people, but they wouldn't pick up. So he realized, I have to rent phone numbers that are in the same area code as that person. So I'm calling on somebody in Miami. It's got to be, 305 area code. If it's in LA, they got to be 310 area code. But then they're picking up now that it's a local number, but they're not booking calls. Okay, so we got to get a better hook. Then it was getting them on the calls. Then they're getting on the calls but not closing. Every step of the way from how do we get the data? How do we enrich the data? How do we get them to pick up the phone? How do we get them to book a call? How do we actually close a call? At every step of the way, he's problem solving. If you don't approach women dating with the same level of problem solving like an entrepreneur would, okay, first of all, I'm not getting any matches. Why is that? Okay, now I can get some matches, but they're all ugly girls. Okay, now I can match with some hot, attractive girls, but they're kind of ghosting me and flaking me. Don't respond to message. Okay, now I can get, girls respond to me, but the conversation feels okay. Now I can get some dates, but I'm not you got to go every step of the ladder from the full lead generation. I need, options, not just any options. They got to be hot options. Okay, but the hot options can't ignore me. Okay, but the hot options actually have to show up on a date. I have to be sexy and witty and charming and charismatic on the date to get the hot options to want to bang me and, continue dating me. And then I need to know, okay, what are the red and green flags? I banged a lot of girls, but now I'm getting girls that are, telling me they want to be in a sugar daddy relationship with me, or girls that are just really low quality. I found out that they have high body counts. They're very combative. They are not pleasant to be around. They're irritating. How can I get girls that are hot and have a good, at every step of the way, right? So one thing when I say, I'll say this in a short on Instagram or something right now. By the way, my Instagram is currently under a matrix attack. It's banned. Redbeard Rants 1. If you're watching this far off in the future, it'll be back, but I'm currently in the doghouse right now on Instagram. But I'll make a video where I say the same thing, right? This needs to be one of the top priorities in your life. Otherwise, you're just going to crash and burn and you have no chance of success. And they'll say things like, never chase women. This is stupid. Just focus on making money in your career and the women will come. Again, these are the guys that if you look at the women they date and you see their results, you'd be like, got it. You're just, focus on my career and lift weights and hot women will fall out of the sky. In case it wasn't obvious, to work with me is not cheap. All the people that I work with are either rich or they've, saved up a big sum of money to work with me. And so they have the finances handled. Most of them are above average looking. So why would they be paying for my help, right? Again, the guy that leave these comments, you look at the girls he dates, and again, he can get girls. They're just ugly as fuck. And here's the thing, right? This whole oh, in marriage, it like, fizzles out and, blah, 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 blah. Listen, maybe many, many years in the future, but I've dated, beautiful women for 2, 3 years, at a time, certain times. And if they're really beautiful, you never get tired of fucking them, right? And again, any guy who says otherwise is just living in cope. Again, you could just look at the girl that a guy's dating and either, he's figured it out or he hasn't figured it out. So this doesn't mean, when I say make this your top priority, it doesn't mean like you chase women. I don't even know what that means to like chase women. It means like you give them attention and they don't reciprocate the attention, but you keep giving them attention. You keep like double tech. Is that what chasing? I don't even know what like the definition of what it means to like chase a girl. Like what, you're on the playground, you're like playing tag, like you're it, I'm chasing you. I don't know what that means. Maybe because I've probably never done it. But anyway, whatever it means to chase women, I certainly don't, mean to do that. I don't mean to, I certainly don't mean to say like ignore your other social life or don't go to the gym as much or don't focus on career. Quite the opposite. You got to double down on all those things. It's all got to be part of a big term strategy. So let's kind of talk about this. So what is the strategy, right? So if you are going to make this a top part of your life and do like, problem solving, like entrepreneurial, like approach to getting a hot girlfriend, because again, you don't want to be one of those guys. You don't want to date an ugly chick. You don't want to be in cope. You don't want to be embarrassed when you introduce your girl to friends. You don't want to fuck your girlfriend, for 2 or 3 months. And then after the first 2 or 3 months, you're like not that attracted to her. You're thinking of other girls. You're jerking off to porn every night. Like it sucked. Like I used to be one of those guys that couldn't get like attractive chicks, or I could get like an attractive one here and there. It fucking sucks. I used to feel like icky. If I would fuck like a fat chick or something and maybe like okay, or like I might kind of enjoy it during it, then afterwards I'd feel like shame, but like not just like a mental shame, like a disgust, like physical shame as well. So don't be in cope. Okay, here's the strategies, right? Got to attack this from all angles, right? First of all, the number one thing in any scenario, online dating scenario, in any scenario that's going to attract a woman to you, or qualify you as like a potential mate to her, is your genetics. Okay, by genetics I mean your looks, your height, your musculature, your bone structure, your eye color. I think I already said your height. All these things come under genetics. She's like, that's the number one thing. And you can do certain things like people like accusing me now of getting like jaw implants or jaw filler. I may do that one day. I haven't done that yet. I'm growing my beard. Here in the editing, we'll put up a picture of like Dan Bilzerian. So you'll see how Dan Bilzerian does his beard. But you see, I'm on the way to doing that where it kind of like, accentuates the jawline. I did not get jaw implants. I'm just giving the appearance of a bigger jawline with the beard. Same thing with the hair. I had a combination of hair transplant and scalp micropigmentation. Getting veneers on the yellow teeth will be next. And, who knows? And then again, listen, I know you go, oh, this guy's not in good shape. Oh, like, okay, I'm not a skinny, weak little bitch. I take off my shirt. Girls are like, oh, shit. They turn to like little pumas. Like, they like bite my muscles and they go, wow. And again, I know like for like, guys, whatever, just it could be a lot worse. Let's just say that. I'm not claiming that I've mastered like the bodybuilding game, clearly in the looks department or bodybuilding game, but I am the all important universal 6. This is going to become a staple in like the Redbeard Rants vocabulary dictionary. A universal 6 works like this, right? I'm white. I have blue eyes. I have this ginger beard. I'm in good shape. I take off my, put like a physique shot up here. I take off my shirt. I have a at least halfway decent physique. And 5'10", okay, 5'10.5", whatever, 6 feet on the dating apps though. That's a universal 6. Okay, I'm not concerned with anybody who wants to rate me a 4 in the comments. You're not my type. Feminine, beautiful, submissive Latina women are my type. You angry troll in your mom's basement, you're not my type. I don't care if you think that I'm a 4. I'm not here to impress you. You are outside of my dating demographic. Okay. So just by regular grooming and stuff and being in shape, virtually any guy can be a universal 6. Some people may have genetically really ugly faces. That's where cosmetic surgery or just accepting the cards you were dealt comes into play, okay? That's the first thing, especially because I teach a lot of online dating stuff. If you're not at least a universal 6, like if you're actually like disgusting and gross to touch, then you're cooked. I remember when I said at the beginning of the video, there's like a universal beauty standard of women, but different guys may like different things. Okay. So there is like a universal like hot black chick. But again, I'm not racist, but my penis is. White, Asian, black, I don't have much use for these girls. Like the top level, you know, a 10 out of 10 white girl, sure. But like white, black, Asian, I pretty much just like Latinas. But women, my point being where I'm going with this is like the same way that like men might argue like, no, like big booty black chicks are the hottest or skinny white girls are the hottest. Women do the same thing, right? So I am universally about a 5.5 or 6, like across like all demographic of women, what they would rate me. And I know this because I've actually had women on podcasts rate me. Actually, on the Fresh and Fit podcast, these recent times, they actually rated me more like 7.5 or 8. Like some girls even rated me like 8, 8.5. Maybe in the editing we'll show a clip of that. I'm not sure if that's even relevant, but whatever. It happened last time I was on the late night show with all the girls on the Fresh and Fit. But anyway, just by not being fat, whatever, you can be a universal 6. And the same with that, some women or like some guys will prefer, you know, whatever XYZ type of girl, women will prefer that too. Okay. So some girls like black guys, white guys, some girls think blue eyes are like incredibly attractive. Even girls that are like haters in my comments, I want to call me ugly. They're like, well, he does have colored eyes at least, but he's still disgusting. I don't like the type of, you know, content he makes. He's offensive to women. And it's like, damn, even women who want to hate are like complimenting my eye color, right? The next thing is, you know, finances. Beautiful women don't long-term date brokies. There could be odd exceptions. You know, they met in college, they met in high school. She's got her own family mummy. She's got her own family money, or she's got her own career or something like that. Or the guys, I don't know, whatever reason, there may be like an odd exception. For some reason, I can't talk all of a sudden. But for the most part, beautiful women are not going to date brokey. So you like, you know, to not be a brokey in the US would be like, you know, minimum with, keep in mind, we're living in a very inflated society, 10K a month, but probably closer to 20K a month. And then most places overseas in Latin America, Asia, et cetera, would probably be about half that roughly. Depends on the country a lot though. And the next 2 things I want to talk about in terms of like overall strategy, because again, we're teaching you how to not cope and not date ugly women. So, you know, get to a universal 6, gym, Luke's Max, skincare routine, beard max or whatever you want to call it, hair max, all these fucking Gen Z terms. These fucking Gen Zers that comment on my videos got me fucking talking like them, like everything has to end with the word max in it. You know, finances. And this is going to be the 2 biggest ones, social media max and time max. So what does it mean to social media max? If you're not new here, you've already heard me talk about this. If you are new here, this will be new to you, I guess. But the advantages of dating online are so numerous, it's even hard for me to like remember them off the top of my head and list them now. A quick preamble though, I think every guy should go through like the cold approach pickup journey. I think every guy should dedicate his early 20s to going out, even if it's nightclubs. Like I fucking hate nightclubs, but in your early 20s, you should get that experience under your belt. Later on in life, you know, maybe just do day game. And I believe that like when you see beautiful women in the daytime, in most cases, you should approach them and try to flirt with them, build your social skills, even if you know that like you're in, you know, I don't know, Miami or something like that, and you're, you know, live in Brickell where they're pretty much all sugar babies. Like, what's the point? Just give it a shot anyway. Just get rejected, you know, who cares? Or, you know, talk to a girl for a few minutes, get a flaky number, she doesn't answer. It still improves your ability to improv, your social skills, your ism, your confidence, all that stuff. Now, assuming you have a universal 6, a little bit of cash, and like you are a universal 6, you have a little bit of cash, and you can like talk to women, you're not like a weirdo socially, then it's going to come down to a good online strategy. So I was talking about earlier how it's hard to even list all the strategies or the advantages of it. Number one, it can be automated and outsourced to somebody else. You don't even have to put the time into it. Number 2, you can find the most beautiful women in your city right straight away. There's really easy ways to do that on Instagram, which we'll talk about, probably not in this video, but I'll put a link to other training videos about how I actually like, you know, sleuth through Instagram and find like the hottest girls in the city. You put together a high status social media presence and it does like the best approach you've ever done in your life for you every time on automatic. Like the profile does the work for you, right? So you DM a girl, if she sees that you're speaking on stage at an event, you're super well dressed in all your photos, you have a good social circle, you do fun things, you travel, you stay in nice places. Like I said, you have, you know, fun things going on in your life. Maybe you have, you know, cool hobbies. The photos are touched up, the lighting, the fashion, the location, everything is done. You maybe using like, you know, slight filters on your face so you come out like super good looking. You have no ugly photos on there because, you know, like no like weird, like not like this like set up like professional, beautiful photos and then like the weird selfie. Actually, the editing, let's show some of my camera roll pics. This is the camera roll method, okay? We'll slide through these photos right here. This is what you guys do. You just post whatever's lying around your camera roll. I've been showing photos that I just happen to have on my camera roll. Now, in the editing like magic, we will switch to the photos that I planned out. And you can see a night and day difference versus when I just like had like some selfie in the car or some mirror selfie versus when I went out intentionally knowing what I was going to wear, where I was going to go, how I was going to pose, who was going to take the photo. I took, 300 photos in the entire outing and picked, 2 that actually, came out, looking pretty good, etc. And Instagram is an app for flossing. So all the cool shit you've done in your life, if you ever, played an instrument in front of a group of people, if you ever accepted some type of award, given a speech and stuff like that, you can show that. What's funny is you can even fake it. For a lot of my clients who come out and meet me in person, I'll just rent out a seminar room at WeWork, fill it with a couple people, and have them fake giving a speech to a room full of people, because it just says so many good things about you. Confident, your social skills. You have something of value that was worth giving a speech about in the first place. There's some type of success there. And I already talked about confidence. Public speaking is one of people's number one fears. We do little clips of it and stuff like that too. And again, Instagram is a flexing app, but you couldn't go up to a girl that you cold approach and just said, hey, did you know that I speak on stage and I do all these events and stuff like that? So, yeah. And again, if you're cringy, oh, this is fake, listen, if you're concerned with what I do is fake on social media, like I faked a speech by renting out a seminar room and filling with people and made a client who's never given a speech in his life give the appearance he's given a speech, or set up this really, really cool life on Instagram when maybe his day-to-day life isn't that good. First of all, Instagram is where you post your highlights. If you're an MMA fighter and all your content is you fighting, you may fight 2 times a year. Or if you have content of when you went on a ski vacation in Aspen, when you gave your speech at the real estate conference, or we did this other cool thing, you may have went to Aspen once that year and spoken on stage once, but you're intentionally posting the highlights of your life. Of course, you wouldn't post when you just took a crap and brushed your teeth. Okay, that's not the highlights. But what you should really be worried about, rather than you're projecting this fake life on social media, or that what I do is cringe, is what the girl is projecting. Her boobs are not as good as they look on social media. Her face, her skin is not as clean and perfect as it is on social media. Up close, she has acne. Up close, she's not perfectly so hourglass shaped. Okay, bro, these women are such fucking catfishes online. They're even doing it with video now too, with filters and something. This is why I always say get on a video call with girls. That's a whole other strategy thing about is not getting flaked, because again, it comes at different stages, right? Sometimes you can't get any matches at all, then you get mid matches, then you get hot matches, then you get flaked when it comes time to a date. This is why you have to problem solve at every step of the funnel, right? This is things that I've done and I help people with. Now, when you have this high status social media presence that does the attracting for you, the next thing is, time maxing. We talked about, again, Gen Z terms. I say these fucking clowning dogs. I don't, take it too seriously, right? And any of you guys who think this is cringe and, want to leave your comment, please do. I love to hear all your cringy comments oh, this guy is faking it. By time maxing, what I mean is getting an online dating virtual assistant. So it's pretty easy once you get in a rhythm of doing it every day to find, 10 to 15 beautiful women that you can contact on Instagram every day. By the way, you can't DM girls anymore. I mean, you can, but you'll go to hidden request folder and they won't read it. But you can get a hold of them other ways, which again, I'll leave a free guide, some type of free guide and free training to kind of not leave, I know this thing, but I'm actually not telling you, right? But when you get an online dating virtual assistant, they can just knock this out for you. This is somebody that you can train. This is a service that we provide to rich people that, you can pay this person $5 an hour in the Philippines to literally swipe on the apps for you, or even better, find girls directly on Instagram. Most of the women I meet, probably about 70%, come from Instagram. There's a little bit of, day game and night game. And then I find the odd diamond in the rough on the dating apps. But in most dating markets, finding girls directly on Instagram will give the greatest benefit, the best results. They're hotter on Instagram. They're more receptive on Instagram. There's more volume on Instagram. I think I already said there's less competition. A girl on a dating app their phone battery must drain really, really quickly. The amount of notifications, like any mid chick makes a Hinge or Bumble, she's got 99 likes within the first, 30 minutes. It's probably a 3-to-1 or 5-to-1 ratio. She's probably not even seeing your profile unless you're one of the top guys in your area. You're spending a lot of money on boosts. So Instagram is where it's at. Speaking of Instagram, if you want, to learn more about how I can build a high status social media for you, and you want like a free audit, like I can literally take a look at your Instagram and tell you like which photos you need to archive, which ones are shit, how you can find photographers in your area. We can actually like on the call live, like start looking for photographers in your area, how to dress, how to get photos like the ones I showed earlier, we look really high status. I would say go to my Instagram, which is RedbeardRants1, and message me the word audit on there. It's currently down. Look, if you're watching this 2-3 weeks from now, I'm sure it's probably back up. Check there first, but if not, join my Skool community. As of now, these evil attackers who they use like bot networks is what they do. Not to get too off on a tangent, but they pay somebody on Telegram. There's like these Telegram services where people can like ban your social media accounts. They just like pay these people to do it. And there's ways to get it back. And I know the right channels to get it back. But point being, you can contact me on Skool. There'll be a link in the description of this video. It's SKOOL. The link will be skool.com/MDM. But yeah, click the link in the bio. And if you can't find me on Instagram, but you're interested in getting your free audit, just join the free Skool community and then message me the word audit on there and we can set something up. But just so, to summarize the video, don't listen to anybody who's dating mid to ugly chicks, whether they're, a fake ass dating coach like Mr. Lucario, who can teach you how to pick up threes. Certainly don't listen to any like random guy who may work in finance or be like a gym bro or something like that. And listen to his advice if he's dating mid chicks. And a lot of times, even guys who date really beautiful chicks, they're probably just like a Chad, and they probably don't understand even how they're doing it. They're probably just like good looking. Like most guys don't have this like insane strategy figured out. Some guys may have other strategies. Like some guys may be like a club promoter or something like that. And he's not tall, he's not super sexy, but because he's in that environment around hot women, that could be his strategy. I think an online, like a high status social media presence with an online dating virtual assistant is better, but different strokes for different folks. And get this area of your life handled and make it a primary focus in your life, and understand that, dog, like we get it. It's cope. If you're dating some fucking mid chick, don't like claim that like, oh, well, she's beautiful to me. Like, bro, we get it. She's mid, dog. Like, don't fucking cope about it, bro. Like there's every man in his DNA. Look, there's like the odd like chubby chaser. If you're that 1 in 10,000 guy, so be it. But for the other 999, or 9,999, if it's 1 out of 10,000, don't cope, bro. We all know what a hot woman looks like. And that's all I have to say. Subscribe for more. And I'm going to be a lot more YouTube content because my Instagram is down and this is now the only channel I have. So subscribe. I'm trying to do 5 videos a week now. Peace out.